whiskey smoked turkey, barbecued onions, smoked cream corn, and bacon apple crisp. Thanksgiving comes early to the Sonoran Desert at the J.W. Marriott Star Pass Resort in Tucson, Arizona. I'm Stephen Raichlen, and this is Project Smoke. Hey, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Busy morning. Didn't expect the rain this morning. But you know, the show must go on, right? Thanksgiving comes early in today's show.
Do you want more butter?
Yeah, we ought to have more butter.
Sure.
Turkey moves from the oven to the smoker.
Peppercorns, cloves.
Even the side dishes and dessert get smoked. It's Project Smoke Thanksgiving. Get ready.
Why did the boars like to come around?
I think they like smoked turkey.
Thanksgiving is one of my favorite holidays because I get to fire up a lot of smokers to prepare the Thanksgiving feast. We always smoke our turkey. I love the way that the joint techniques of brining and smoking give you a bird with incredibly moist flesh. No more dry turkey. Turkey presents cooks with a unique challenge. The breast cooks faster than the legs. By the time the legs reach a safe temperature of 165 degrees, the breast is as dry as, well, you get the idea. I have 3 solutions. Number 1, brine the turkey. Number 2, inject the breast with melted butter. And above all, cook the turkey in a smoker. Step number 1, the brine. First, bring half the water for the brine to a boil. It will make it easier to dissolve the salt and the maple syrup. Just grab a little boiling water and dissolve the maple syrup. There you go. And whisk until the salt crystals are dissolved. Moisture loss is inevitable when you cook meat. The heat causes muscle fibers to contract, squeezing out moisture. During cooking, the meat can lose up to 30% of its weight. When it comes to keeping foods moist, few techniques rival brining. Meat soaked in plain water will absorb moisture, but it will not retain it during cooking. The real secret to a brine is the salt in the water and a process called denaturing. Salt, comprised of sodium and chloride, dissolves in water into positively charged sodium ions and negatively charged chloride ions. The sodium gives the meat its agreeably salty flavor. When the chloride diffuses through the proteins, the negative ions repel each other, like opposing magnets, swelling and pushing the meat fibers apart and creating gaps that are filled by water. The result? Brine meat retains more water during cooking, reducing the shrinkage to as little as 15%. So what's the ideal ratio of salt to water? Tradition and science suggest 7 ounces or 3/4 cup of salt per gallon of water. That gives you a salt concentration of 6 to 7%. Now, the next thing you want to do, once the salt and maple syrup are dissolved, is cool the brine down. So we'll add ice water in equal proportions to the boiling water we started out with. Now the aromatics. Take a 1/4 onion and pin a bay leaf to it with a clove. Bay leaf has a natural affinity for turkey and all poultry. Then add the onions, bay leaves, and cloves to the brine. Next, a handful of black peppercorns. And finally, a generous shot of whiskey. Now, the first thing you want to do is remove the neck and giblets. So next, turn the turkey over. You're going to fold the wingtips under the wings. I always like to use an organic turkey. It tastes better and it feels better knowing you're buying a bird that was humanely raised, preferably from a local farmer. Remove any excess lumps of fat. Then pull the turkey skin back and pin it closed with a couple of toothpicks. Now, turn the bird over. This turkey comes pre-trussed, but if you need to, take a piece of butcher string and just tie it around the drumsticks. So here's a batch of brine I made and chilled earlier. Take the turkey and lower it into the brine. Make sure it's completely submerged. And you'll brine it for 24 hours. Remember to turn the turkey over halfway through so it brines evenly. Meanwhile, let me show you the smoker. We're going to cook the turkey in a pellet smoker, often called a pellet grill. The fuel is these pellets of hardwood sawdust, and as in a conventional smoker, you can choose apple wood pellets or cherry wood pellets, mesquite. In other words, you can vary the fuel. The way this works, there's a hopper in the back or on some models on the side, and you load the hopper with these hardwood pellets. There's an auger at the bottom that brings the pellets to the smoke chamber. Now, this is the smoke chamber, and if you lift the grate, you can actually see the mechanism where the pellets are burned. There's a heating element underneath. It sets the pellets on fire. The pellets create both the heat and the smoke. And on some models, you can actually remove this plate and direct grill directly over a wood fire. The last thing to look at is the control panel. I'm going to cook the turkey at 250 degrees. The cooking time is 4 to 5 hours. Back to the turkey. So here's the turkey after it's brined for 24 hours. I drained it and placed it on a rack so it can dry on all sides. The last step is to inject the breast with butter. This is a marinade injector. Looks like an oversized hypodermic needle. And you plunge it into melted butter and then simply pull back on the plunger and insert the needle deep into the turkey flesh and inject it with melted butter. And you want to just inject the melted butter a little bit at a time so it doesn't come back and squirt you. Some people will add chicken stock or bourbon or brandy. I like to keep it simple with melted butter. Let's put the turkey in the smoker. Open the lid, and the turkey just slides right off. And we'll close the lid. Cooking time is about 4 to 5 hours. After 2 hours, we'll start basting the outside of the turkey with melted butter. We're midway through the smoking process, and wow, check out that turkey. Is that beautiful? So I've been basting every hour, basting with more melted butter. This will give the bird a nice luster, great flavor, and help crisp the skin. And check this out. I took the roasted turkey neck and combined it with some poultry stock, and I'm smoking that to make a smoked turkey jus. It won't be long now. It's been 5 hours and turkey sure looks done, but the way you check for sure is with an instant read meat thermometer. Insert it into the deepest part of the thigh, 170 degrees. Bingo, we're in business. Then you want to put on a pair of heat-safe food gloves and grab the turkey, put it on a cutting board. Now, I know you want to eat this bird right away, but it will taste better and be juicier if you loosely tent it with foil and let it rest for about 20 minutes. Notice I said loosely, don't bunch the foil around the turkey or you'll make the skins huggy. So we'll just make a cut along one side of the breastbone, and then I just have to cut into this right away. Oh, man. Look how beautiful that turkey looks. And now a little of that smoked turkey jus. And finally, instead of the usual cranberry salsa, this is a jalapeno cranberry salsa. The recipe is on our website. Oh man, the smoke flavor is really nice. The brine, it's moist. It's everything you want turkey to be. And this salsa has a nice kick. So the next time you cook a turkey, remember the Project Smoke formula. Brine it, inject it, smoke it. One of the reasons I'm so obsessed with smoke is its ability to make ordinary ingredients remarkable, like onions. Stuff a humble onion with bacon and jalapenos, smoke it with hickory, and ordinary becomes extraordinary. First step, the stuffing. Melt 1 tablespoon of butter in a cast iron skillet. Then add thinly slivered artisanal bacon. Now, what do I mean by artisanal bacon? It's bacon that's smoked with real wood in a real smokehouse. You may be surprised to learn that most commercial bacon is actually flavored with liquid smoke. Once the bacon begins to brown, add chopped jalapeno chilies, seeded if you want a milder stuffing, and with seeds in if you like things fiery, and a little chopped onion, and you want to saute these ingredients until golden brown. While they cook, let me show you how to prepare the onions. You want to choose a sweet onion like a Maui onion or a Walla Walla. Insert the tip of a paring knife and make a circular cut to remove a cone-shaped plug from the center. We can cut it a little deeper. Make a shallow lengthwise cut along the outside of the onion and remove the skin. Then cut off the root end. Now place the onion on a grill ring or a ring of crumpled aluminum foil and stuff the cavity with the bacon jalapeno mixture. What's nice about this is you get a 1-2 punch of smoke from the bacon and heat from the jalapenos. I'll finish stuffing the 4 onions and then we'll get them into the smoker. Then with the back of a spoon, press the stuffing down and make a little depression in the center. Now take your favorite barbecue sauce and place a spoonful in the center of each onion. Finally, place a square of butter on top of the barbecue sauce. What's going to happen is as the onions smoke, the butter is going to melt into the barbecue sauce, which will melt into the stuffing, which will melt into the layers of the onions. And if you think it sounds good, wait till you taste it. Arrange the stuffed onions on the smoker rack. Then put the onions in the smoker. I'm using an electric smoker for these barbecued onions, and it's fueled with these discs of hickory sawdust. Set the temperature at 300 degrees. The cooking time is about 2.5 to 3 hours. So how do you know when the onions are ready? Well, first of all, they look golden brown. You can see the butter and barbecue sauce have melted into the filling. But you also want to squeeze the sides, and when they are squeezably soft, you're in business. So take the onions out of the smoker. And look at these onions. They look amazing, don't they? The whole thing has just turned into buttery barbecue awesomeness. Let's see how we did. Cut the onion. Super tender. Look at that. Wow. That bacon barbecue combo is really nice. Barbecued onions, Project Smoke style. It's a new Thanksgiving tradition.
Maybe just 2.
Abby and I are trying to make these look as beautiful as possible. That's a nice angle for the beauty shots that are seen a couple times during the show.
What could be more American for Thanksgiving than apple pie? Well, this one gets a twist, a bacon apple crisp. It receives a double blast of smoke flavor inside from the bacon, an ingredient you don't normally associate with apple pie, but remember, everything tastes better with bacon. The outside, a blast of apple wood smoke. I think you'll really like it. For the filling, start by crisping 1 strip of smoky bacon cut into 1/4-inch slivers. Stir in 3 pounds of sweet apples, thinly sliced or cubed, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch or all-purpose white flour to thicken the filling, 1 teaspoon freshly grated lemon zest, teaspoon of cinnamon, salt, and 3 tablespoons of rye whiskey. Mix these ingredients together. The topping starts with 1/2 cup each granola, all-purpose white flour, granulated sugar, and brown sugar, salt, and 1 stick of unsalted butter. Place these ingredients in a food processor and pulse to form a crumbly mixture, which you put on top. Smoke until browned and bubbling. You could think of this as a sort of deconstructed, reconstructed apple pie. The crust is on the top instead of under the pie. The smoky bacon and smoky whiskey just take the apple filling over the top. The sun has set here in southern Arizona, and I'm about to prepare one of America's favorite comfort foods, smoked cream corn. The contrast of flavors and textures, sweet and smoky, creamy and crunchy, will come as a revelation. Step number 1, brush the corn with extra virgin olive oil. Turn the corn so you brush it on all sides with oil. You also want to brush the onion quarters with oil. A match made in heaven. Next, season the corn and onions with sea salt and freshly ground black pepper. And this is one dish you can smoke even if you don't have an outdoor smoker. I'm using a stovetop smoker. So the first step is to place about 1.5 tablespoons of hardwood sawdust. I'm using maple sawdust. Next, insert the drip pan. And I like to line the drip pan with a sheet of aluminum foil to facilitate cleanup. Finally, the food rack. Arrange the corn and onions This was actually the first smoker I ever owned. Finally, cover the smoker with the lid. Now normally I'd close it all the way, but I want you to see the smoke coming out. Once you do close it, you'll smoke the corn and onions for 20 to 30 minutes. What you're looking for is the vegetables to be bronzed with smoke. When the corn is ready, transfer the smoker to a wire rack on a sheet pan. Remember, this is going to be really hot. And take off the lid, and look how beautifully bronzed the corn and onion are by the smoke. Take an ear of corn, and you want to cut the kernels off the cob. And I think the easiest way to do this is to lay the corn flat, like this. Smoked corn kernels are one of my secret ingredients. I add them to salsas, salads, soups. They really add a great sweet, smoky flavor. Now, before you dice the onions, heat a large saucepan and melt 2 tablespoons of butter. Now add the corn to the pot. And the butter is going to make the corn all that much sweeter. Just give a little stir so you caramelize the corn kernels evenly. Now dice the onions and make 1 or 2 lengthwise cuts, and then slice the onion crosswise. When the corn and onions are caramelized, stir in flour, which will act as a thickener. Then add brown sugar for a touch of sweetness. Wow, that smoky aroma really comes through. Next, stir in the heavy cream and bring the cream corn to a boil. Finally, you'll want to add salt and freshly ground black pepper and some freshly grated nutmeg. Little known fact, nutmeg was once believed to be a remedy against the plague, and it was so valuable that the Dutch traded Manhattan to the English for the island where nutmeg grew. Simmer the cream corn until thick, 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see how we did. Wow. This is so different. Remember caramel corn? Well, that's what the smoke does here. It gives that sort of sweet, smoky caramel flavor. So now you know how to make whiskey smoked turkey, barbecued onions, smoked cream corn, and bacon apple crisp. You don't need to wait for Thanksgiving to try it. See you next time. Step number 1, the brine. Start by boiling half the water. Are you in at least?
Did your glasses fog up?
Yeah.
That's awesome. This is a farseed bacon jalapeno smoked onion thing.
We have time.
Can you do another one for me? Awesome. All right, then we have...